Listen, life doesn't just happen to you. It happens through you. What you think, feel, and expect creates the world that you see. A lot of people have a difficult time understanding this. But it's almost like standing in front of a mirror. Whatever you project reflects right back to you. Now, a lot of people look at the mirror and they hate what they see, but they refuse to change their expression. A lot of people look at the mirror and hate what they see, but they refuse to change their expression. If you frown at life and expect it to smile back, you're playing yourself. It doesn't work that way. If you want different results, you have to reflect something different. The rule is your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Your thoughts are the seeds, your words are the water, and your reality is the harvest. You have to look at it using that plant analogy. So if you keep planting negative thoughts, guess what type of harvest you're going to be getting. And look, this isn't woo-woo. It's psychology. It's quantum physics. Even if you don't believe in manifesting, you've lived this. Example number 1, the power of expectation. Have you ever met someone who's always talking about how unlucky they are? Those I could never catch a break type people. It's always something wrong with me people. And sure enough, we see their reality. You might be one of them. The car breaks down, the job falls through, relationship problems on repeat. See, those type of people are not cursed. They're projecting their failure, and then life is going to reflect it. For example, there's this guy I know. Let's call him Marcus. Marcus constantly used to joke about how nothing ever works out for him. So even when opportunities came knocking, he would actually self-sabotage. One day I put him on some game. I made him listen to a podcast. And besides me telling him for years, it finally clicked with this podcast episode. He realized that life follows the energy that you give it. So like I said, something clicked and Marcus changed how he spoke. And so instead of saying, I can't catch a break, he drastically changed his language to say, I'm figuring things out. It's a small shift, but within a couple months, he got a new job and a new relationship. I don't think that's an accident. I don't think it's a coincidence. What happened is Marcus stopped feeding the mirror negativity, and then it stopped reflecting it back. Another example of success starting in your head is Kevin Hart. You see, before Kevin Hart became the highest paid comedian in the world, he was just some guy from Philly getting booed off the stage. But even back then, he'd say, I'm going to be the biggest comedian in the world. I see myself filling stadiums. He wasn't filling anything yet, but he projected that energy. And eventually, life caught up. Fast forward all these years, sold out arenas, movies, multi-million-dollar empires. Kevin Hart is doing it all. So what's the lesson? Life didn't happen to Kevin Hart. Kevin happened to life. Even I have my own personal story. I'll give you one from my life. There was a time when money was tight, real tight. And before I understood how language worked and the mirror principle, I kept saying, I can't afford that. I'm just broke right now. And guess what? I stayed right there. After I gained the knowledge of how to properly speak to myself and how the mirror principle worked, I stopped. Regardless of how my bank account would look, I kept saying positive things about my relationship with money, such as I'm smart with money. Money flows to me unexpectedly. And I didn't just say it. I believed it. About a year later, I ended up owning my own business. And I got random opportunities from this business. And why did that happen? Because I shifted what I reflected. But just in case you still think this is some spiritual mumbo jumbo, I'll break down the science of why it works. Here's a breakdown. Your reticular activating system, which is called your RAS, as my Jamaican friends would say, is the part of your brain that filters what you notice. We've all been there. You buy a car, then suddenly you start seeing that car everywhere. It's even happening to me. I'm married to an East African woman, and I see East African people everywhere. That's your RAS. So if you start to think success, your brain highlights the opportunities for that. If you think failure, then your brain is going to highlight obstacles. It's extremely simple. It's not magic. It's just selective focus. Here are some of the actionable steps you could take to start reflecting the right energy. First, you have to catch negative thoughts. You have to hear yourself when you say, I can't. Stop, then flip it to, I'm working on it, which is going to require you to be a lot more conscious about your thoughts. 2, you could do daily mirror work. Stand in front of the mirror every morning and say, I'm becoming more successful every day, or whatever you want to say, but speak it until you believe it. Number 3, rewrite your mental script. Write down 3 limiting beliefs that you currently have and then cross them out and write the opposite and read them daily. That one's extremely important. Number 4, act like it's already done. Walk like you belong there. Move like the person that you want to be. You have to speak like someone who's already made it. Here's a pro tip. If you don't believe it yet, fake it, because your subconscious will catch on. The truth is, life reflects what you project. If you think small, you get small. If you think big, you get big. Start projecting the reality that you want. Stop waiting for life to change before you do. With all that being said, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.